Good day, folks. Today we're looking at an old 1892 crown. This is a British coin. It was the equivalent of 5 shillings in 1892. That's what the crown was worth. Fairly large coin. In comparison, here's a Canadian dime. So you can see it's fairly large, and the modern Canadian dollar, for instance, you can see it's quite a bit larger than the Canadian dollar. But on this coin, there's a couple of people. There's this person here, St. George killing the dragon. Some people say it's a myth, and other people say it was a true story, that St. George was in actual fact a real person. And nevertheless, here he is in all his glory on horseback with his cape and so on, and his sword, and killing the dragon. Now on the obverse of the coin is Queen Victoria. This is in her Jubilee obverse, it's known as, celebrating her Jubilee of 50 years on the crown, although this would have been her 55th year on the throne. But nevertheless, these two people that are pictured on this coin are still observed and sort of celebrated, I guess, in a way, to this very day. St. George, according to what I read, now there's several different stories, but one story I read about him claimed that he was actually beheaded in the year 303 AD. So if he was a real guy, in actual fact, well, that's just that story. Some other people say that he never existed at all, but in any event, we all know that certainly that Queen Victoria certainly did exist. And until Queen Elizabeth II, Queen Victoria was in actual fact the longest reigning British monarch of all time. However, a record got beat out by Queen Elizabeth II. But now these two people on this coin are still observed and celebrated to this day. We still celebrate a Victoria Day here in Newfoundland on the 24th of May. Usually people go off trouting and so on, and camping and so on. It's a tradition here in Newfoundland. And of course, for a long time here in Newfoundland, St. George's Day has been observed as well. So between St. George and Queen Victoria, this holiday, this coin got two holidays. Two holidays connected to it. Two people in past history that are still observed to this day and still recognized. St. George and Queen Victoria. Thank you for watching, folks. Hope you enjoyed this little look at St. George and Queen Victoria. Without Queen Victoria, we wouldn't have our 24th of May. Thank you very much for watching, folks. Bye-bye.